Hey, what's going on, everyone? I want to introduce you to a friend of mine. This is Roxie the raccoon. This is her, and as you can see, she has seen many, many better days. I came across Roxie last night and named her, but I came across her last night around a blind curve on the road while I was driving home. There was a line of cars behind me, and basically everybody's driving by. You know, this dead raccoon in the middle of the road, and it wasn't in the middle like where the yellow lines are. It was in the smack dab, like the lane drive of where you're gonna be going around. So, you know, I pulled into a side street. I came back, and I put on the emergency flashes, you know, whatever, and I went to go check her out. You know, a few years ago, I had come across a possum that had had babies in its stomach, and when the car had hit it, its stomach had split open. The babies were crawling around, and everybody's just driving by that one too. So that was literally the most disgusting thing I've ever did. Had to cut open the stomach and take them out, cut the cords, and this is what I got.
Oh, Josh.
Yep. You know, the thing is that in our society, we have a huge, huge lack of compassion. You know, whether it's for our fellow humans or for, you know, creatures as a whole. And this is where a lot of our problems stem from. And, you know, so I was there, and I ended up finding out that it was dead at the time and stuff. And it looked like it had been alive for a while, looking at the blood trail and looking at how whoever hit it, first off, they knew they hit it. Second, it was probably pretty obvious the thing was still alive because it never made it out of the road, judging especially by the bloodstains. So whoever hit it just hit it and drove away, because that's okay, because our lives are so damn busy, you know, that we can't extend a hand to help something out. You know what I mean? At the very least, you could call animal control, pull your damn car over to the side of the road, and wait for them to come and flag other people down who are coming around, because I almost hit the thing again, as did many of the people behind me who swerved. So anyways, I had pulled around, went back. I ended up getting the thing into my truck. And it was occurring to me, and I started to get angry, because it started to occur to me how, you know, I ride motorcycles and stuff, and a bunch of my friends do. That's a death sentence. You know, whoever left this thing in the middle of the road, that's an absolute death sentence for anybody's son coming home, anybody, you know, daughter, whatever. If you came around a curve at the middle of the night and you hit this thing, that's big enough that you're gonna end up crashing, and you die very fucking easily. So it's like, that starts to go through my head about the guy who hit it and left it there, and then I realized, like, everybody who's driving by, you know, complacent consent, you know, basically consent means you're allowing something, complacent means you're not doing anything about it. Anybody who is driving by this thing, you're doing the same damn thing. You know, you really are in this world. You're either part of the solution or you're part of the problem. So all these people driving by, they're just as bad. You know, you're gonna allow things to take place around you that are causing problems. You know, and it's like, do I think I'm some big fucking hero for you know, taking this thing out of the road? Yeah, absolutely. And anybody else is who does something like this. You know, anybody's a fucking hero who reaches out to somebody who's hurting and says, hey, listen, you know, I had plans tonight, but I canceled them so we could hang out. You know, anybody's a hero who puts time aside to, you know, teach a kid a new skill or to do anything like that. You know, a hero is just someone who brings positivity to the world, you know? And you know, there's people who say shit like, you know, there's so many dead animals on the side of the road, or there's so many. Really? How many are you really driving by? You know, if they're on the side of the road, that's one thing, but if they're in the middle of the road, it's a hazard to somebody, you know, and you're condemning someone to death just as much as anybody else. Would you like to lose, you know, a family member or a friend due to somebody's negligence? Something as stupid and as simple as just pulling over and getting this thing out of the road? No, that's stupid. And if you're too worried to touch it because you think, you know, you're gonna get rabies or some shit like that, pull over, flag people by, make a call, and get the thing taken care of. It's like, you just have to think a little deeper about things like that and stop worrying so much about what you have going on during your day, and take care of things that are important. You know, I mean, there's a great story. It's about a starfish. A bunch of starfish have washed up on the beach, and there's this little girl who's walking down the beach, and this old guy says to her, because he sees her throwing these starfish back into the sea. You know, they've all washed up. It was high tide, now it's low tide, and they're all going to die. And he says to her, you know, as she's throwing all of these back into the water, he goes, you know, you're really not making a difference. There's thousands and thousands of starfish, and there's miles of shore. And, you know, the little girl thinks about it, or, you know, the little boy, I don't remember the story perfectly, but, you know, they look back at the person and they go, well, for those ones that I just threw back, it did make a difference. So make a difference. You know, it does not take a lot to have compassion for other things. All it takes is for you to stop and think about, well, how would I feel if this was done to me? Just put yourself in somebody else's shoes. That's all it is. That's all compassion is. Would you want somebody to show you the way when you were having trouble? Would you want somebody to take an animal out of the road that killed your husband? You know what I mean? That's all it's about. And, you know, the only other part that I can think of to talk about with this is that when you are going about your day, a lot of people, like if they're walking in the woods or something and they're coming across a ton of garbage, they just go, well, you know, it doesn't make a difference with what I do. You know, there's so much garbage in the woods. Well, yeah, but don't add to it. And every time you come out of the woods, take a bottle with you. Take a bottle with you. That's it. You know, it's, you just try to be a light for others. You know, the first light that goes on in a dark room is the brightest, makes the biggest change. And then other lights can follow. You know, there is something to be said with influence by your actions. You know, if you don't think that people's actions influence things, just look at the media and what we have nowadays. Look at how relationships are nowadays. You know, you have fucking websites dedicated to cheating. You know, AshleyMadison.com, you know, all the cheating housewives, this, that, and the other. Like, that's the society that we live in. You know, if you could influence people for the bad, you can influence people for the good. So, you know, be the change that you want to be. Or even when people say that they don't see the point in cleaning this up, well, if it was on your front lawn, do you see a point in cleaning it up? If it was in your driveway, do you see a point in cleaning it up? Well, this is in your world, you know? So by taking responsibility and looking at it as if, you know, you do have a reason to clean it up, because it is the world that you're living in. You know, I don't think you're going to get another one. Maybe. I don't think so. So, you know, if you look at it like that, then there is a point.
Hey. Hi. You are precious. Hey. Hi. What's up?